Okay, so we got the table moved out here, and of course it's lopsided because the ground is not level, so I need to find some things to make the table level, and so I'll work on that now. Well, it looks better already, I think. I'll get a level and check it later. All right, so since I'm out here doing my garden table, which I really like, I thought I would give you a tour of the garden in the backyard. So I have 5 beds back here. Actually, there's 5 back here, and there's a 6th one in the other part of the backyard. This part of the backyard is gated off because I have a dog. I have 2 dogs, but one of them is insane and would be in my garden beds all the time if she had the opportunity. So we'll start with the one furthest from the gate. And in here we've got celery. I started to grow celery before the big freeze in February, and the plants just died off all the way to the ground, and every one of them came back. So that's pretty cool. Then also there's onions, which are starting to bulb, which is fabulous. There's spinach, which is bolting, which I will pull out and feed to the chickens. Look at that onion, isn't that cool? Now, do you see these spots on the onions? That's from hail damage from a hailstorm we had the other day. Carrots. Here, we'll pull a carrot. Let's see here. Oh, well, an odd looking carrot, but there we go. And then over here we've got a dog toy in your garden bed. Then we've got, this is a Brandywine tomato. This is another tomato, big beef, I think. Big beef tomato. Got blossoms, but I don't have any little tomatoes yet. Then on here is all paste tomatoes. Oh, look, we have some little tomatoes. Let's see. Do you see? How cool is that? I planted a whole bed of these paste tomatoes because I really want to have enough to can tomatoes with, canned tomato sauce. So all those are going to be paste tomatoes. And then here is all onions and garlic, and I usually don't plant the whole bed with onions and garlic. I usually just put it around the perimeter. But this past fall when I was planting them, I just had my neck surgery, and so I was just trying to fill up beds to keep myself out of them. Now, one thing I noticed, I had been thinking that this was volunteer Swiss chard, and then it occurred to me the other day that it's not. Look at this. It's a beet. Look at that. Look at that beet. Isn't that beautiful? All right, and then of course we have weeds, which I'm always pulling out. But anyway, yeah, so that bed is full of onions. And then this bed is onions, mostly around the perimeter, but it has, you know, a lot in it. All right, this is just a tiny little bed that last year I put cucumbers in, and this year I put pickling cucumbers in. Don't they look good? I've had them covered up until just a couple of days ago to give them a good start. Anyway, those are pickling cucumbers, and then another dog toy, of course. Over at the pasture garden, I have slicing cucumbers. So I wanted to keep them apart so they wouldn't cross-pollinate. And then right here I've got blackberries. Now, I've never been particularly happy with my blackberry harvest, so we'll see what happens this year. Now, I put thorn on one end and thornless on the other end, and the thorn have just taken over the entire bed. I mean, it's all thorn now. It's all thorny. So that's the stage of them right now. It's just they're green. I hope to be drowning in blackberries, but it hasn't happened so far. Here is mint. I planted mint one year because I wanted to make mint jelly to send as a thank you gift to some people I traveled to Greece with. these are just some beds I made. That rosemary hasn't always looked so terrible, except that it went through the freeze. I really need to cut it back and let it start over. All right, so now we'll go across the backyard and I'll show you the one remaining bed. These are some flowers that I seeded, and I'm just waiting on them to come up. I'm excited to see what they look like. Well, hello guys. Hi. That's Loper and Heidi, my dog and my grand dog. Oh, and look, here's my very best dog right here, Lacey. She's 12. She's the one that has storm anxiety. Hi, sweet girl. Hi, sweet baby girl. And then we just have, I built these planting boxes and I just put like flowers and whatnot in them. And then here I have 2 peach trees. I originally was gonna have 3, but then I decided that was too close together. So the last several years I've just put pepper plants there and they've done well. Here is the current state of peaches. I hope to have wonderful peaches this year. I think this is the 3rd year, maybe the 4th year for the peaches. Wow, there's a lot of them on this tree. That's great. And then over here, I have this other bed. It is vulnerable to the dogs, so I have to be careful what I put in it. But what I have planted in here right now, as you can see, there's just a few onions. But the big thing is, these are sweet potato slips. And there are just 6 or 8 of them in here. And I know they don't look like much now, but if it happens like it happened last year, they will take over this bed and produce a ton of sweet potatoes. When we bought this house, one of my main requirements was that there would be a yard that I could have a garden in. And so here we are. It's my favorite place. Until next time, bye.